You son of a...
Hey y'all, welcome to CC Reviews. And today I'm going over something that no doubt a lot of you have seen out of context. A show where the main character is about as horny as the average Genshin Impact addict.
Oh my god, she's not wearing a bra!
None other than the 6-episode OVA from the 90s, Golden Boy. An anime you'll want to watch when you're alone. Because, yeah, holy shit, it gets pretty erotic. But despite being insanely horny, at its core, it is a very charming and very funny comedy. Some of you watching have no doubt seen clips and frames from the few episodes there are. And fuck, it's a shame we only got the 6 episodes, but those 6 episodes are really fucking good though.
Did you ever notice how some people sing along with the radio and never even realize it?
What a nerd.
That is so dorky.
For some context, Golden Boy is a fairly loose adaptation of the manga Golden Boy. The anime is actually less horny than the manga, by the way, which is really saying a lot. Like, holy fucking shit. Like, take a shot every time Kintaro, the protagonist of Golden Boy, the Golden Boy himself, take a shot every single time he simps over a toilet. Yeah. And every time he did, I laughed, by the way. It's very good degenerate humor. You know, if you are into it. If you're okay watching someone be just completely off the walls, no hold barred, down bad. But what is Golden Boy actually about? It's really simple in premise. There is no overarching narrative at all. So basically, Golden Boy is about our protagonist, Kentaro Oe, and his journeys across Japan being a free spirit who works part-time job to part-time job. All for the purpose to learn as much about life as he possibly can, writing down everything he experiences and learns in his trusty notebook. And somehow constantly running into contact with some of the most beautiful women Japan has to offer.
Do you want something?
Oh, I was hoping I could work here. Yeah.
It's mostly episodic, and episodes tend to not reference past episodes. Except for the last episode, but I'll get to that later. Like I said, there is no overarching narrative, so in theory you could watch any episode except the last one in any order, and you're not going to miss out on a single thing. So if you really want to see the swimming episode first, since that has the best joke in the whole show, you are free to do that. It's not going to hurt the experience one bit.
So, how do you like my swimming?
The show is also very formulaic, so you essentially know what you're getting every episode. That's not a bad thing at all, and I think it works in the show's favor. It's fun seeing Kentaro go part-time job to part-time job. And in 5 of the 6 episodes, he also happens to be really fucking horny. So, that's another part of the formula that only one episode breaks. There's only one episode of the 6 where he isn't horny for somebody. And of course, at some point along the way in the episode, it seems like he's fucked everything up, but then he comes back in the end and fixes the solution like the Golden Boy he is. And since it's just 6 episodes, I can do a quick rundown of each one, give my thoughts, etc., all that bullshit. So episode 1 is about Kentaro getting his current part-time job at a computer company who's run by this woman who earlier in the episode hit him with her car and then paid him off so he wouldn't sue her or anything. And of course, while at the company, she is the target of his horniness, primarily from the episode.
Oh my god!
But he is also into every other woman in the office. For a first episode, it does basically everything it needs to do. You understand Kentaro by the end of it. You get the formula. I'm not going to say it fully fleshes him out, but it mostly fleshes him out. A great thing about this episode in particular is it really shows the insane level of genius that Kentaro is. This motherfucker taught himself how to program and write code on the level of like a professional, international computing company. He taught himself how to do that on a fucking cardboard keyboard.
Using a keyboard made of paper. Now, at last, I shall face off with my silicon foe.
And this level of insane intellect stays consistent for the rest of the show. He basically only acts like an idiot when he's horny. Which, yes, it's super fucking often, but when he's not horny, the man fucking gotta have like 200 level IQ. He is a degenerate with layers. And then the second episode, probably the most problematic episode, I'd say, for reasons, because anime and schoolgirls, oh boy. But at the same time, it's a contender for possibly the funniest episode.
Is this really okay? It can't be!
It's also the only episode where the woman of the episode is consistently fucking with him. Normally they're just annoyed by him, or they tolerate him, or if they do fuck with him, it's just a little bit. In this episode, it's consistent. This girl is like antagonizing the fuck out of him.
Phase 1. Pretend to fall.
I guess this episode is more about seeing how far his limit is, seeing how much abuse and teasing he can take until he just fucking snaps. The girl in the episode also has a really, really funny rant. Like, she goes the fuck off at one point about how she thinks Kentaro probably only thinks about sex while she is having just the most insane, fucking degenerate rant you'll ever hear come out of somebody's mouth. And then just, such a pig. Yes, it's good shit. Now, episode 3, it's the least funny episode. It has its funny moments, but it breaks the formula. It's the one I mentioned earlier where I said there is one single episode where Kentaro is not horny. Episode 3 is that one episode. But it's a very necessary episode because we get to see what Kentaro is like when his brain isn't clouded by the down bad. We get to see Kentaro at peak efficiency, his optimal settings. It also might be the most satisfying episode to watch because of the fact that, it is a Kentaro who is not being dragged down by his own horniness, and the way he resolves the issue at the end of the episode is so light spoiler warning, so fast forward like 10 seconds if you don't want to hear it. So Kentaro beats the shit out of this Yakuza thug who is exploiting this family, and it's so good to see happen. Okay, spoiler window closed. Another key aspect of this episode is we get to learn Kentaro's type, because there is a very cute, modest woman who is into him this episode, and he does not care. He does not reciprocate her feelings. He likes her. He likes her as a friend, and he respects her. He is not horny for her. He's not down bad. He does not look or see her that way at all. Kentaro likes bad bitches, and bad bitches exclusively. So, don't expect him to rub his face on a toilet this episode. You get a free no toilet joke pass for this one episode. Episode 4 is probably the most well-known episode. It's the swimming episode. You've seen the clip. I've shown part of the clip. You can look up Golden Boy Dub swimming part and you'll find it. I think most people would say it's the funniest episode because of the swimming joke. It's also a fantastic joke about Kentaro wishing he were a dolphin and that the swimming instructor would tame and control him like a dolphin, giving him orders that he can follow for his queen.
I see it! Oh! Again! You can boss me around too!
You could say he's based for wanting to be so subservient. I I understand him. He speaks to me in that regard. But I think what really stands out in this episode, besides the swimming joke, which is again like fucking peak comedy in general, I think it has the second most wholesome ending in the whole show. Light spoiler, so again, skip ahead 10 seconds from this point. He reignites the simple passion and joy of swimming for the swimming instructor, and she thinks about her dad during it. It's very cute and wholesome. I like it. Speaking of cute and wholesome, there's nothing cute or wholesome about episode 5. It is the most down bad, war crime level atrocity down bad in the whole show. Fucking bordering on porn at one part. It is very shameless about it too. It goes as far as it can without going into full porn territory. It also has the greatest bike chase sequence possibly in animation history. Like, the timing and escalation of the chase/race is so insane and over the top. It needs to be studied for how you properly escalate a conflict.
Oh yeah, this is my lucky day!
This episode also has my favorite funny face in the whole show. And that leads us into the 6th and final episode, which went in a direction I don't think anybody could have predicted. It is super meta.
There are a lot of steps involved in producing an animated film, and that means a lot of people. The job of a production administrator is to organize and administrate the full length of the production process.
In the final episode, Kentaro gets a job at an animation studio, not just any animation studio. It's the animation studio that makes the Golden Boy anime. Or, in this case, in universe, it's Golden Girl. And even the author of Golden Boy cameos playing himself. It's that kind of meta. He's not, breaking the fourth wall exactly, but it's a very unique process where you get to see the creation behind the anime you're watching, but it's in-universe for a technically different anime, but it's the same thing. You're seeing Kentaro work on his own show, essentially, but not really. It's great. I love it. It caught me off guard. I thought it was a fantastic send-off to the series. This is the one episode that references the past episodes. Every past girl, even the side ones, like the office workers in the first episode, or the friend of the girl from episode 2, all of them, every single one of them show back up for a quick little cameo, or a few speaking lines each. So it very much is the end of Golden Boy, and treats itself like a big series finale. And when that final scene hits, it honestly does hit. I didn't get teary-eyed or anything, but it did tug on my heart a little bit, knowing that my short time with the show I enjoyed so much was ending too quickly, but it's a bittersweetness. It might only be 6 episodes, but it's 6 very good episodes that leave an impact on you. And the making of this video is very timely, very good timing on my part, because right now the entire show, all 6 episodes, are on Crunchyroll. So everybody watching this, you can go to Crunchyroll, watch it all, dub included. The dub is on Crunchyroll. And I would say prioritize the dub, because Doug Smith and all of the VAs, honestly, all of the comedic timing and performances of the dub voice actors are spot on, fucking phenomenal work. It saddens me, I looked up if Doug Smith, the voice of Kentaro himself, is still voice acting. He hasn't in years. He's in graphic design now or something. Doug Smith, if you ever come across this, thank you for your amazing comedic noises and sounds. I hope that one day you come back to voice acting. Give us, one last hurrah of comedy greatness. I'm not sure how convincing this video might be in making people watch Golden Boy and give it a try, but I do genuinely encourage anybody who comes across this to watch Golden Boy. Just be careful, watching it around people. I guess, make sure they're okay watching something like that if you do want to watch it in a group setting. Don't make someone uncomfortable and just put it on, unless it's funny, I guess, Unless you're being a little trollish. But for real, check out Golden Boy. I do think it's a classic, and I think it will continue to stand the test of time. All thanks to the very fluid and very fun animation, the hilarious fucking faces Kentaro makes, everything about it, the charm. It's gonna stand the test of time. People will remember Golden Boy longer than I'll be remembered. So, check it out.
Right!